going to visit my mama today. Today to me is really tomorrow because I haven't gone to bed yet. It's like midnight, I think. Or close to it. I think by now it's midnight. Going to visit my mama. In my perfect world, I would never ever think a single bad thing, or never ever have a single unwanted thought. But in my mama's perfect world, I mean, she would have not had to suffer from the disease of schizophrenia for the past 35 years of her life. And then there were a lot of people who, like Montgomery Clift, a perfect example, he couldn't deal with his own sexuality. There was nothing he could do about it. I mean, he couldn't face it, but then he couldn't deny it either. And I sit here, I mean, I'll have the poem, Little White Man, you know. Ha ha, I laugh in your face, you have no proof, so I guess I'm safe. Because it's true. Sure, there are people out there. One woman, I blocked her, but it's been said to me numerous times, you know. There are people that believe I should be locked up. But you can't, the thing is, you have no proof. You can't do it to me without proof. Without me actually doing something that would warrant it, see? But at least with me, you know what you're getting. That's the thing. Think about it. You have me with my poem. The madness that breathes in me could come out so easily, you know what I mean? And then you have that popcorn defense guy who, I mean, he just snapped, and in an instant he took a father from a wife, father from a child, ruined their lives, ruined his own life, and because he murdered somebody in cold blood in the middle of him. I mean, I'm just saying, you never know about people, so I'm dealing with a lot of shit, and I'm dealing with a mind that is very advanced. That's, that's just constantly thinking and spinning around, and I do obsess over everything because I have to. I've seen too much in my life. I have to. I can't just brush it aside, I have to ask things like, we're not talking about serial killers or sociopaths or psychopaths or something like that. We're talking about weird shit like that woman who gets married and then the next day they're on their honeymoon, and apparently he indicated that he was having reservations about marrying her, so she pushed him over a cliff. I mean, what was that? An impulsive thought, an intrusive thought, an unwanted thought that she acted on. I mean, and then that guy blew that guy away in the movie theater. It's like some people just don't think, as we've already established. Yeah, I do think a lot of weird things or different things, or even like, I don't like to be anywhere where I could leap to, like low-railed bridge or something. But so I have that thought, but I think about it, okay, but do you really want to do that, Laura? Do you really want to die? Do you really, and then the thought passes, and then I don't act on it. Whereas so many people do things without even thinking. These people that blow people away, and just without even thinking, they just don't think at all. I have to ask all these questions that my shelter member, like, what do you care what's the matter? They do it because they just don't think. They don't think like you. They just bad. Who cares about your ears? Do what you did. Who cares about that? I do. I do. I have to say, okay, I told you, why do these people commit suicide? And of course I have to know what makes somebody go through with that. they actually go through what I have only thought about, you know. They actually do it. You're like, well, you're never going to know, Lauren. You're never going to know these mysteries. No. But I'm a lifelong truth seeker. I'm constantly seeking out answers. Even if I can't know, I can get closer to knowing. There's so much weird shit out there. Scary shit. Just reading something just now that I only clicked on because I'm in MSN. It said, what's the world's deadliest animal? Turns out it's a mosquito. Mosquito's not an animal, for one thing. Mosquito's not an animal. Mosquito's an insect. But it is the world's deadliest creature. It apparently kills 700,000 people a year or something through the disease spreading. It's sick, you know, and God or whatever created, you know, they created the damn mosquito. But when I clicked on that, something else came up, and it was about the black. Joe had already told me about this. I'm like, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. About the black-eyed children, and they really exist. So that's scary. You know. Like I said, there's tons of things out there that scare me. But making this room pitch dark and slipping into oblivion and where I have better melatonin levels because it's pitch black doesn't scare me. I fall asleep pretty fast, so I don't have time. You know, it doesn't scare me. And the world out there scares me. Because you don't know what anybody's thinking. The fact of the matter is, just like Gavin DeBecker said, Gavin DeBecker said it, all human beings have the capacity in them, have it in them to kill. They don't, but I'm talking about to kill another human being. They have it in them. He gave examples, he gave whatever, you know. And the way to keep yourself safe is to recognize that anybody can be a potential danger to you. I mean, you can never know, so you be wary, but you still leery of people, but you still, you know, you still have to take risks and make friends and, you know, and have lovers and all the crap, but you just never know. That's the thing, you don't know. That's why Gavin DeBecker says you can't separate yourself from them. You can't think that the killer is so far separated from you. Because it's just not true. And then there are people that, you know, you think someone's fine and they just snap one day, you know. Or there are cases like my mom where her illness can cause her, the voices in her head told her to hurt me, you know. It wasn't her, it was some kind of, I don't know, it wasn't my mom, it was my loving mom who would hand the world to me on a silver platter, you know. That terrifies me more than anything. But I can't live in fear, even of myself, you know what I mean? What's the point? Seriously. That's why sometimes I just say, fuck it, you know. I'm not going to live in fear of myself. I mean, I've lived in fear for the past 35 years. Fear of what happened to my mom, what happened to me, and then when I was in high school and was a total fucking loser, and I had to deal with my dad's psychological abuse, and I already hated myself and blamed myself for my mom's illness. I actually wished for it. I wish I could have my own nervous breakdown just so I could escape my father's cruelty. Escape him just always knowing that I'm a fucking loser, and being there with his smirk and just there and knowing. But I was too strong. I didn't have my own nervous breakdown. I went on to have a very weird life because I put myself into these situations and because these situations found me. Think about it. I used to think about when I was in high school because he was so mean to me. Just made me feel like total shit, and I already hated myself. You understand? I already hated myself. He made me feel like total shit, my father. I used to think about killing him, but I didn't do it. That's the thing. How many people have thought you get mad at your siblings when, even my devout Christian cousin now was so pure and so this, so that. I mean, she told me when she was in high school, she was so enraged with her sister that she thought about killing her, Everyone's had those kind of thoughts. Just most people do not act on them, okay? I didn't kill my father. He's fine. He's perfectly fine and healthy and whatnot, okay? I'm not a killer. But when I was in my 20s, this is what I mean about weirdness, how the situations find me, okay? I have no idea why, but they do. I was in my 20s. Remember, the guy I'd given my virginity to didn't believe in giving or receiving, and I'd always dreamed that, once I gave up my virginity and whatnot, I would actually be able to be with a partner and enjoy myself and whatnot, I'm not a virgin anymore, I'm gonna have sex with myself, it'd be really good. No. His name was Shahid. He was, I don't know where he was from, where the places, whatever he was, from Bangladesh or Pakistan, or I don't know where he was from, it doesn't really matter. All that matters, he didn't believe in giving or receiving, okay? That's interesting, huh? There are a lot of guys who don't believe in giving but still want to receive. No, I don't know what was wrong with him, but so in the end, I broke up with him, and I was like, is this all there is? And I found out that was not all there was, and that's when I began my wild phase, okay? That's when I wound up working for that phone sex company. I was an overnight moderator. That's when I started calling sex chat lines. I started doing all kinds of crap, okay? But what are the chances that I meet a guy off of a sex chat line, and he winds up confessing to me that when he was a kid, as in, I guess when he was 15 or 12, maybe he was 12, I don't know, when he was a kid, and he got off anyway because his father was an abuser, but he killed his father. He shot him in cold blood while he was sleeping. So you think about it. I thought about killing my father because he made me feel, when I was a teenager, when I was 13, 14, 15, whatever, I didn't think about it all the time. It was when I first moved in, when I thought Daddy was going to make everything better and love me, and instead he made me feel worse than ever. I already hated myself. I lost my mother. I blamed myself for her illness. I had the self-esteem of a flea, and he was saying things to me like, I don't want you, nobody wants you, your mother's crazy, I'm going to ship you back to your crazy mother. For what? Because of stupid things, you know? But the fact of the matter is, I didn't kill him, okay? He killed his father. I had nothing in common with this. I call him a kid. He was only a couple so years younger than me. I don't know. Doesn't matter. He killed his father, and he told me, and I'm like, oh my God. When I told my aunt, who was alive at the time, the one that died of cancer last summer, she was like, wow, I think I heard of that case. I don't remember the guy's last name, but I remember his first name. I'm not going to tell you his first name. So what are the chances I became lovers with this 20-something-year-old guy who had killed his father when he was, I don't know, he got off. He killed his father. And he had no remorse. And he told me he had no remorse. And he said, he didn't say, I hope he is. He's like, he's rotting in hell right now. Like, I had nothing in common with this guy. I met him off at Sex Line. I just wanted to have fun with him. He was professing his love for me within 2 weeks. I broke it off. He was really, really good at doing you-know-what to me, and that's all I cared about. And I broke it off with him because he was talking about us being married and grandchildren. He told me I showed him the other side of life, okay? Sure, I had fun with him, but I had no interest in him as anything but someone to have fun with. And you can't condemn me for it because I was upfront with him from day one we met. I didn't lead him on. I told him up front. He knew. In the end, he was mad at me and accusing me of thinking, what people accuse men of thinking with, and you knew up front, come on, I never let you on, I never said anything about anything. It was just ridiculous. But see, that's the other part of it. The part is that, what are the chances you killed his father? He confessed to me. Me breaking off with him had nothing to do with that. It had to do with the fact that I had no interest in him. See, the kind of things I get myself into. There was a time I did know his last name, but I didn't bother looking up what he had said to me. I know he didn't make it up. I could look right into his eyes and see he's not making it up. Why would anybody make that up? No, he'd done it. The jury had let him off because apparently his father used to beat him and he beat his brother so badly that the brother had brain damage or something. And so one day this kid, when he was, like, I don't know how old he was, but he 12 or 13 or 14 or 15, whatever it was, he killed his own father, and he got off. He killed him in cold blood while the father was sound asleep. He had no remorse, and he said, my father, and he looked at me like he's burning in hell right now. So I don't believe in heaven and hell and all that either. See, I had nothing in common with this guy, nothing. I didn't have, he's talking about future and marriage and all this crap. I'm like, get away from me, please. Yeah, all I do is think. I think about everything and anything because I have to. A lot of weird shit has happened to me. A lot of situations have entered my reality that I wouldn't expect. And I have to deal with the stigma. My mom's, illness. And I've had to... And I'm not well myself, but I'm not anywhere near as bad as she's been, Not all the time, her periodically, She could go years being fine, and then and I just think it's important to talk, about whatever. If more people talked, instead of just keeping it in themselves and whatnot, I think there would be less suicide. I think, I think to just... maybe even less murder. More people just talked. Because there's so much weird shit just going on in this world, but people want to pretend they're okay, pretend everything's okay, That's why so many times people kill themselves. And the family members and friends didn't see it coming. They're like, we never saw it coming. Yeah, you never saw it coming. Because the person hid his pain from you. Whoever it was that you cared about, she hid her pain. He hid his pain from you. That's why you didn't see it coming, because they hid the pain they were in. So I don't do that. I've never done that, I put it all out there, everything. And I did it in person with people before I had this on a mass scale, you know what I mean? That's how I've always been. I feel like we're all here, and I think it's important. I think it's important to share and to try to understand where other people are coming from, and I really believe that communication and not hiding even the bad things that nobody wants to talk about or wants to face or wants to confess or whatnot. I believe it's our only hope. I truly, truly do. Otherwise, I don't think there's any hope for humanity at all. And there may still not be, but hiding and pretending and not wanting to face who we are, even if we don't want to face who we are, is not the way that humanity will be saved. That is why I strive to always tell the truth, even when the truth is painful. Painful for me to say, painful for the others to hear. And that is why, as my poem for now so eloquently stated, I lay myself naked before you. You're all lost in your drama. You put on all your armor while I lay myself naked before you. I feel death as a constant presence, so I am left defenseless. This is just something I am forced to do. Knowing the price for me, you whisper out she's crazy and go on with your little lives. Or else you put me down, wish I was not around. Force you to open up your eyes. The more you keep things hidden inside, the more they fester and grow, and So yeah, I'll be taking dreams today. I'll be posting this. And I'm right now telling you, because it's always happens that the thought will cross my mind that, oh yeah, the third rail I can jump, but I don't do it. See, do I wish I didn't have that kind of thought, those kind of thoughts? Oh yeah, I definitely do. But I think, because I'm aware of it and whatnot, it gives it less power. I don't like it. I told Joe about this when I was in my 20s, and he's like, yeah, you have a problem with dealing with free will. Like, yeah. That's because so many people do bad things, and I wonder why they do them, Or I think I just have a problem with just reality itself, or how fragile we are, how easily we can just, even we can be gone as in dead, but also, here one day, gone the next, or for perfectly healthy one day, and the next you find out you have, like my aunt, found out she had pancreatic cancer, and it's just, only way I can describe it. So I'll let you know how it goes with my mom. You won't be getting this until I've already visited her. So many things that I wish. I wish the world were different. I wish my mom wasn't sick. I wish I were different. I wish I were normal. Never gonna be normal. Never gonna be normal. Best I can hope for is, to at least not, at least always stay one step ahead of the insanity that follows me around like an albatross around my neck, or that Achilles heel, whatever you want to call it. Just stay one step ahead of it. That's the most I can hope for. Won't be out here, but I know it's apparent, but I'm not. I just don't want anyone to know the exact date that I go visit my mom, you know what I mean? So it'll be after I've already gone. I'm going today. I mean, hopefully I'm going today. I should be going today unless something came up and Cheryl can't go, I'll call her this morning. And that's that, This world's a scary, scary place. I'm scared of the world out there and the people out there. I'm not afraid of this. Watch out, dark, my rum. I have this pitch black at night. Pretty damn cool, huh? like it. I know it's good for me, and it's how I like it. With that, I bid you adieu. Going to see my mom today, hopefully. And it's supposed to be pouring out this morning. Oh well. It's going to be like an over 3-hour trip for me. Oh joy.